Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to do this, I don't even know what to call it if we're going to be honest, but kind of like this pastel look that I have right here on my eye. And I always do one eye first before doing the other eye, just because, girl, I be like wiping it off, putting it back on, wiping it off. I don't got time to be recording and deleting and recording and deleting and all the rest of that. I used two palettes today. I used the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, and I also used the NYX Sugar Trip Squat palette as well. But before we get started, if you're not already, please click that subscribe button right there, and also turn on your notifications so that you know whenever I have videos, and you'll be up to speed with me and we can become friends. Let's get into it. Alright, so to get started, of course, I am going to prime my eye with the concealer, but it is pretty watery, so I find that I have to let it sit for a minute, just because if I just blend it out right away, it's just going to not even like cover my eye pretty much. I just realized that this palette does not have an mirror. I always have a thing with palettes. I just feel like they should have a mirror. I'm sorry, I do. I feel like they should. And I feel like if you do have a mirror, it shouldn't be like a crappy mirror. How do you guys see mirror? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Alright, so now that that is all spread out, I'm going to go into the Sugar Trip Squat palette, and I'm going to use this color. Oh man, I didn't even realize that there's actually colors on the back. But it doesn't matter because there's no... Yeah, never mind. It doesn't matter. There's no, like, identifying names to the colors. I am then now going to go in with this, like, I'm now going to go into the Sugar Trip Squat palette, and I'm going to use this pastel kind of purple, light purple color. I'm going to spread that kind of all on my eye, like right here and on the side, and then start blending it out a little bit, and before going in with this darker purple, but more so bluish toned, and making it a little bit deeper. Like I said, I'm just going to pull this out just a little bit. Honestly, if you are going to create this look, it doesn't really matter if you kind of go over more than like just the like crease line and out to the corner, just because of the fact that we will be putting a color on top of this. Next, I'm going to go in with just a plain brush, and I'm going to blend this out. And originally when I first like started doing this look, I was just going to do two colors again, because y'all know I don't do anything crazy. That's not me. That's not my artistry. But something told me to add in this yellow, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at adding in this yellow whatsoever. Now I'm going to go in with another brush, and I am going to use this darker purple, bluish toned purple, and I'm going to just put that on the outer corner of my eyes and kind of bring it a little bit in right here, because I'm going to add that yellow to the inner corner of my eye. And my palette fell. Quick little side story. The last time one of my palettes fell, it was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and let me tell y'all, it fell down face forward, and when I brought it back up, the brown all gone on the floor. Like, I really like that palette, but like, it's hella dusty, bro. Like, it's big dusty, big dusty. Let me stay on topic. Again, I'm just going to start blending that into my crease line a little bit, into that color. But I'm also going to really pack it onto the outer corner of my eye. And just making sure I get down to that lash line. I feel like, especially with me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes I forget to go down to that lash line. So I've been trying my best to make sure that I really go down to that lash line. And because this is like a pastel color, I realize it does take a little bit longer for it to be like semi-pigmented, which I'm like totally cool with. But if you're one of those people where you want like to just be able to dip in your brush a few times and then it's on, this is not the palette for you whatsoever. Mind you, I don't even know if they have this palette anymore. Whenever I got it, it was on sale for like $3, so I'm assuming they don't have it. But nonetheless, if they do, if you somehow find it and you're like, oh, maybe I do want it, maybe I don't, just keep that in mind. But again, I also don't even believe they have this damn thing anymore. Now I'm going to go back in with the brush that I used for that lighter purple color, and I'm just going to blend it in more, just so that again we're not getting any harsh lines. We want to minimize the harsh lines as much as possible, but we also still want to keep that color prominent as well. Like, you don't want to lose that color. So now I'm just going to go back in with the blank one. I call it blank, but I want to say it's clean, not blank, because obviously it's not blank, it's not a piece of paper. My blending sometimes looks crazy. Sometimes I watch me blend and I'm like, are you even blending? So one can hope that I actually am. Alright, so I'm going to go back in with this color, and I just want to pull it out just a bit more. And one of the things, the key thing to blending is definitely to use a soft hand. And I feel like that sounds self-explanatory because it's kind of like a Sharpie. If you press really hard on a Sharpie, you're just going to come out with a lot of color. But if you press really light, it'll be a little bit of color. Again, kind of sounds self-explanatory, but like, I don't know, personally that's like the one thing that I learned while doing makeup, is to do that. So now that that's done, I'm going to go into the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, and I'm going to use the color Star. It's that yellow color, and I'm just going to put that on the corner of my the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to now put that on the inner corner of my eye. I'm just going to dab that in. Now, if you're looking for your yellow to really pop, I haven't tried it with this palette, but I'm sure you can, you know, do the whole wetting your brush thing, or you can just use a different yellow that's actually like a lot more pigmented than the Kat Von D. But now I'm going to go back in with that darker purple, clean it up just a little bit. So now I'm going to clean up this eye, and then I'm going to add in my Fenty eyeliner to match that eye. Then I'll complete the rest of my face. Problems that I have whenever I'm doing my wing liner is that my eyelashes are so long, like my natural ones. So whenever I'm like really trying to get like fine pointed, my eyelashes just be like, no bitch, sorry, and it's like, it's infuriating. So these are my eyes. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. Alright, so now I'm going to do the rest of my face. Of course, very self-explanatory. Honestly, I don't change like how I do my face unless something new comes out and I want to try it. Otherwise, I use the same process over and over, because why fix something that's not broke? Alright, so I'm going to take the NYX No Filter Blurring Primer, and I'm just going to put that all over my face. I'm going to be using, I realized I was like, this doesn't look like the right color. Not the right color. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Foundation in the color 390, and I'm going to mix that with the Bobbi Brown. And the reason why I mixed these two colors is just because I found that if this one was to come out. I found that the 390 is way too red for me. However, the Bobbi Brown makeup is way too neutral. So I found that mixing those two together gives me like the perfect combination that I need, especially since I swear my skin tone and my undertones just be changing like crazy all the time. So I find that best to do it that way. To each their own opinions, but that's what I do. And then sometimes I don't get the mixture right. Like sometimes it will be way too red, like especially since the Fenty Beauty one does oxidize a lot. So like it can be red and I'll just be sitting there looking crazy as hell, but I don't mind. Nonetheless, I'm just gonna spread this all over my face. If it'll let me be great. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender. Next, I am going to go in with the Born This Way concealer in Butterscotch, and I'm going to go in with my Black Opal foundation stick in the color Bronzer, and I'm just going to sculpt up this face per usual. I honestly do use a lot of concealer sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. Today I'm just going to use a lot because why not? And then I'm going to go and sculpt the face. I love bronzer, so oh, I got it in my hair. So yeah, I go crazy with the bronzer. And one thing that I learned, especially with blending my concealer, is that, again, it may sound self-explanatory, but you really do need to use like small taps like this. And it, again, may sound self-explanatory, but I feel like me personally, the best results that I've gotten is when I'm like super light with my touch, like barely even hitting my skin. Obviously I am, but you know what I mean. Just because, like, again, I don't know why, and it could just be me, and it could just be my skin, because my skin be having a mind of its own. But I find that when I am doing these like shorter taps like this, it blends out so beautifully, and it's like, oh girl, whose man are we taking tonight? JK, I have a boyfriend. But like, I don't know what that was. But yeah, I found that like I really do get better results this way. So this is how I'm doing it. Alright, so I was going to film my whole face, me doing the rest of my face, but I am going to finish that off camera, and then I'm just going to come back to get my final thoughts, and then that will be it. So yeah, let me finish the rest of my face. Alright, so this is my finished look. Hope you guys enjoy. You see it? If it looks like my eyelashes are falling off, it's because they are. I was having so much trouble like putting them on that, like, yeah, I was just like, I don't even care at this point. But it's my finished look. I hope you guys enjoy at least the eye part of it. Like I said, my foundation and everything that I use like on my face is pretty much the same thing all the time, including the lip color, because y'all know this is my favorite lip color. But if you guys really want to see like how I do my foundation, like in full like talk through detail, then I will. I can do that video for sure. For some odd reason today, like my skin was not, she wasn't fucking with me today. Plain and simple. Like right here, like it's barely, it like separated right here, and then like I don't know, I wasn't feeling like my skin was feeling me today. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the eye look and my creation of this. I really enjoyed the look a lot. Yeah, so comment below, subscribe if you did enjoy it, turn your notifications, and I will see you guys at my next video. Bye.